Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Reinvent to Rise. I am super excited to see you here again. And if you're watching after this live edition, please do remember to share feedback, comment with us at in the comment section below. All right. So, for those of you who have been watching and following us over the last few weeks, we've spoken of on several topics. Today we're going to be talking about reinventing your career. Yes, we're going to dive a little bit in that because that is one of the questions that I get a lot from our viewers. So without further ado, I will be sharing my screen. So let's see. All right, I'll be sharing my screen with you. Here we go. All right, everybody. So, as we are starting, I'm going to start right at the beginning. For those of you that think that reinventing your career is a huge thing to do, one thing you have to recognize is the fact that we live in a world now where our careers morph. If you are not ready to morph along with how the world is changing, it will be a challenge. So there is a need for career reinvention, and it doesn't mean you have to go from being a doctor to being an engineer. What we're talking about here is situations like market changes. The technological advancement of AI, for example, is really impacting a lot of things. It's impacting our world today as we know it and how we do things. Think about globalization as well. There's more competition and evolving job demands out there. Before, if I wanted to get certain things done, I was limited to a small and limited pool of resources. Now, as a leader and someone who consults globally, I have found out that there is literally nothing you cannot get done if you know where to look. So the competition is very intense out there. Opportunities as well is something to think about. There are new fields and industries that are emerging faster than ever. So, if you want to give yourself a good reason to consider career reinvention, you need to keep these three things in mind. And guess what? It doesn't mean leaving your current career. It means how are you upskilling to be relevant in a year from now? How are you upskilling to be relevant 5 years from now? In order to do this successfully, you need to identify your strengths. Those that know me very well know that I'm always talking about strength finding. Always know your strengths, because when you know your strengths, you are bold. When you know what you carry, you are bold. If you don't know what you carry, if you don't know your strengths, it's really very difficult to be able to understand and know what area of life you want to work on. So, what skills and experiences set you apart? You need to think about that. Number two, reflect on past achievements and how they translate to future opportunities. A lot of us don't do that. We look at past achievements and we just check it as a check mark. But do you really think about what you've done in the past and what lessons you have learned from what you've done in the past? And how can those things you've learned, those skills you've gained, be translated into future opportunities? If you've never done that, you want to really do this at this time. Because we're in a world that is not just changing, but it's the definition of roles is emerging with different and distinct distinctions. And so gone are the days when you just do one thing and you don't understand that that one thing you may have been doing before can easily be done now with emerging tech or emerged tech. And as a result, that understanding, those skills you had, can be transferable into a new requirement. Action: conduct a self assessment to find your core strengths. There are thousands of self assessment tools out there, but you want to and stick to those that are very popular and very good ones. So, one of the things I'm going to be sharing over the week is a list that you can look at some of these tools and try and give yourself 15 minutes in a day, just 15 minutes, and find your core strengths. It will go a long way. Upskill or reskill. Now, that's something to ask ourselves. Do you need to upskill in your current role, or do you need to reskill completely? And somebody might say, well, how am I going to reskill? I'm 40 years old. Well, good news. The whole world is reskilling right now. So, how old you are and how long you've been working in a particular field really does not matter at this point. What matters is, do you understand that learning has now become a lifestyle instead of an event that happened when you graduated university or you graduated high school? So, if you're going to reskill, you need to learn new skills that in order to switch industries or role. But it's never as difficult as it sounds. I have had to reskill at least 3 times in my career, and I have had to upskill at least every year in the course of my entire career. And so when I tell you that reskilling is not such a difficult thing, I know what I am talking about. But that's the only way you become relevant. That's the only way you have companies and organizations looking for your services. Now, tip for this section: invest in courses, invest in them, workshops or certifications, or anything that is an experience that you take on new understanding of how to do things to be relevant. Please, please invest in yourself. I'm not asking you to take our boot camps if that's what's crossing the mind of some of the watchers. I'm asking you to find out what you need to know and make sure you commit to the time. That is one of the reasons we have our 90-day challenge going on. A lot of people promise themselves they're going to upskill, they're going to take a course, they're going to learn something, but they never get around to it. We are saying, if you struggle with such, join the 90-day challenge. It happens 12 p.m. PST. For those in Pacific Standard Time, it happens Monday to Friday. You can just log in for 30 minutes, work on something. Work on something to upskill yourself. Work on something to reskill yourself. It doesn't have to be monumental. Explore emerging fields. Now, it's important to focus on industries that clearly have a strong future run rate. That is so important. You cannot be transitioning or learning skills that are already obsolete in 2025. And there are opportunities for all. Whether you're tech savvy or not, there are options. You just need to think about it. You just need to know what it is. So, an action item to take towards that, I would say research growing industries and identify roles that excite you and that your past experiences could be relevant in it. I would like you to be strong, build a strong personal brand. And this is so important. I have had situations where I receive phone calls from people and they say to me, I was told, if I want to get this done, Pamela, you are the person to get it done. I am not being pompous about that, but it is critical to understand that you have to build integrity in your brand, no matter what you do. Somebody gives you a project, you better handle it with integrity. You better recognize that how you handle every business, every contract, every project, every role is a strong indicator of what your brand is. Networking. Oh, you've got to network. It's just a lot of people think that's not important, but that is so critical, especially when you work from home and when you work remotely. Networking has to be a critical part of what you do in order to put yourself out there. But if you put yourself out there and your brand does not represent excellence, does not represent integrity, it will be very hard to get references. Social media presence. I know everybody's on social media right now these days. Twitter, LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, please go and get one. It's really important. You should be on LinkedIn and not just have an account and abandon it. Go on LinkedIn, see what other people are doing. Go try at least once a week to go on LinkedIn. See what people are doing. Comment. Begin to build your own presence. We all struggle with the time for these things, myself included, but it's important that we start and we keep working at it. Tip for you for personal branding: since you know that personal branding is your key to standing out in the digital job market, I want you to make it a priority. Embrace flexibility. Traditional 9 to 5 jobs are evolving into remote, into freelance, into project based work. So it's important that we stay open to hybrid roles and open to new career formats that suit your lifestyle and goals. That is so important because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a world where you are tunnel visioned in your search as well. That is critical to take note of. Leverage AI in career invention if you can. Okay, AI can help you to automate your tasks. It can help you even with your upskilling, believe it or not. Even find new career opportunities. Yes. If you're not part of any one of our membership hubs, I strongly recommend that you join now because we do share things that will help you with some of these things I am talking about. But notwithstanding, membership or not, be a proactive owner of your destiny. Use AI tools to optimize your job searches if you can. I know we have great resumes here, but I strongly advise that you just use that in a revision of your resume rather than using it for the final content you're going to share. People have been known to lose job opportunities because they used AI to craft their resumes. Okay. So you want to make a good distinction there. Are you crafting your resume with AI or are you using AI to help you with elements that you want to articulate proficiently in your resume? There's a clear distinction there. So, action here is I would say explore tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Cloud for researching information that you need. Those will help you as well. Stay committed to your career journey. Reinvention is a process. Be patient and persistent. Celebrate your small wins and keep adjusting as needed. Set short term and long term career goals to stay focused. That is so important. And I want to wrap up with this: success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out, by Robert Collier. Next steps: what do you want to do? You want to make sure you join us on the same YouTube channel every working day, Monday to Friday, over the next 80 odd days in the 90 days reinvention challenge. Join us. Spend 30 minutes either on something you're learning or on a project you're working on, something you've procrastinated for a long time, something you're struggling with. Join this small hands glove community that we work together to just do life, accomplishing something in micro bursts towards a big opportunity. Thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, it was going to be short and brief. I look forward to seeing you next week. I look forward to seeing you join either our Reinvent X hub or our Reinvent to Rise hub, or just simply joining our 90-day challenge on YouTube. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to sharing your stories. Thank you.